You said to me before the game that the win was really, really important. You've got that, but I think you also got a good performance, didn't you?
Yeah, good performance. I know that the fans and I feel it. We want play better, control more the game with the possession, but with all these games without time to train, I think our players solve some problems that the team still have. So I think was a very good result. Was a good performance because when we had to suffer, we suffered all together, all the fans, and we defend all together. And we have some moments of connection that we were very good. I like the first 15 minutes. We were very, I think, a little bit dominant, and then we lose a little bit control, but I think it's normal in this moment. But great result. Congratulations to the lads.
When you watch you in the technical area, you can see that you're calling for a little bit more bravery from some of your players. You're sort of pushing them further up the field. You're trying to get them to sort of fully commit to the way that you want them to play.
When I'm there, I'm just focused on helping the players. Sometimes I think I'm really playing with them. I just want to help them. I don't want to push them or to show that I want to push them just for the fans or some. I just want to help my players, and they did a very good job. And the only thing I think in this moment, I believe more in them than them in their abilities to play football. So I'm trying to help to push my players to a better moment.
You've made a lot of changes through the different games that you've had. Everybody's getting an opportunity here to show what they're capable of doing. Ruben Zirkzee has done that in spades today. I thought he was absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, I think he played in one position that is very good for him. He's not. It's like more a false nine, and that help him. And we try to do that in all the games. Try to put the players in the better position for them to shine a little bit. Then we are changing so much in the moment. Imagine what a dressing room feel that everybody plays in the starting 11 in three games. So they have to feel that they are so important for us, each one of them. So that is the message for everybody. We are all together. Everybody needs to play, and it's impossible to play in 3 days with the same team.
Just finally, a little tactical one. Ahmad and his pressing today seemed to be the trigger for the rest of the team to go. Is that a conscious decision that you've made him and his ability to press so important?
No, I think I have to. I would love to take this merit from Ahmad, but it's all Ahmad. He's a very smart guy. He's very explosive. In the right moment, you try to put these details in players' head about using the pass to start the pressure because you have time to do that. But it's all about the players.
Ruben, thank you.
Thank you very
much. 2 goals, team result. There's loads to talk about. What did you make of the game?
Yeah, good. It was a good game overall from all of us. I think we played well. Gave the fans what they deserved, and yeah, great day.
You got your first start for a little while, Josh, and you've really taken that opportunity with both hands today. Which of the two did you enjoy more, do you think?
Which of the two what?
Goals. You know, the 2 goals that you scored.
I don't know. Just both were nice, I guess. But we, started with Ahmad, some good pressure forward, and yeah, just good.
I think when you hear the clattering of seats at Old Trafford, when people are starting to stand up because they're getting excited, that's always a great feeling. When you've scored and you see the Stretford end has gone absolutely berserk, what does that feel like?
Yeah, it's very nice, very nice. I think just there's no better stadium to score in, so I'm just enjoying the moment. Bruno told me to take my moment as well. I think I moved a little bit too quick back to the players, but yeah, it's a nice feeling scoring in front of these fans. Yeah.
The manager has obviously changed the way that you're playing, has changed the system. There's been loads and loads of talk about it. What's that been like inside, learning a different way of playing? Is it similar to any way you've played previously?
Not really, but I think what he asked for the strikers isn't really something very different than what me and obviously Rasmus and are used to. So it's not. We're just trying to adapt very quick and just do what he expects of us. And, yeah.
And just finally, it feels like there's a really good energy around at the minute, really good vibe, really good energy. How does it feel inside the dressing room?
Yeah, good. Bonding really good. You know, some strong connections, and we all just want one thing, and that's just just be better every day, and just get back to top level in the league, and some good spirits. So yeah.
Congratulations today.
Thank you.
Marcus, 2 goals for you. That's brilliant. But I guess the most important thing is the team result.
Yeah, definitely. The energy and the atmosphere that it starts with the players, of course, but what the fans give us after that is unbelievable. And honestly, that's when we feel like we can take on any teams in the best moments, best spells that we've had at Old Trafford. We have that energy every game. Obviously, every game we don't play well. But that's the intent, and today was a perfect example of what we want Old Trafford to feel like.
Which of the 2 goals, which one would you pick as your favourite? Because one of those is what I would call a typical Marcus Rashford goal, and one obviously worked on the training ground. Yeah,
for me the first one, it's something that we deliberately worked on just yesterday, and especially when you don't have much days between the games, you work on these little things to try and catch team off guard, because a lot of teams are set up are good, so we need to find these little things, and it's not going to happen every game, but as long as the intent's there and we believe that we're going to score and we try, at the end of the game we can't complain about anything.
Ruben Amorim's come in, and he's obviously getting a bit of stick from Joshua Zirkzee. Ruben Amorim's come in, and he's obviously given everybody a bit of a puzzle to try and solve. You've all got to try and figure out exactly what that looks like. Has that been an enjoyable process?
Yeah, I think it's not only difficult for us, it's encouraging and fun for us to learn something new. We feel like we can get a lot stronger in this system as well. So, but also for other teams, we've not played this system before. No one knows what to expect really from us, and it puts us in a good position because we've got so many different personnels, different players that can play in different positions. We can change a lot in games and set up differently for different games. So it's, like I said, it's exciting. And don't want to get too carried away, but like I said earlier, the energy and atmosphere is what we want from Old Trafford.
I've enjoyed it, enjoyed watching it, and enjoyed commentating on it. So thank you, and good luck.
No problem, thank you.
And this is what it does to the table. It puts Manchester United up into the top half, into 9th. And as you can see, suddenly only 4 points off those Champions League places. Brighton currently in 4th. Manchester City have been nudged down to 5th because Chelsea have gone into the top 3, like Arsenal, 6 points away from the leaders, Liverpool. Aston Villa drop into the bottom half, into 12th after that defeat at Chelsea. They are now 8 without a win in all competitions, and that is the longest such run under Unai Emery. Everton stay 15th after their defeat at Old Trafford. Welcome back to Anfield. So Manchester United have scored 3 goals in the first half already under Ruben Amorim. Only got 1 under Erik ten Hag all season, and they're 2 goals to the good. It's gone down as a Marcus Rashford goal, but it was a well-worked set piece from Manchester United.
It was, yeah. I think it was worked as well, because I think you can see a lot of the Manchester United players almost making an early run. 1 or 2 of them pinning their man. I think De Ligt is one of them, pinning Decore, and that just leaves a huge space on the edge of the box for Rashford, who plays a little bit safe. The ball bounces and he just concentrates on keeping the ball down. But you look at all the space he's got in the world there. He does well to keep it down. And when you hit the ball towards goal, and anything can happen, of course. I think, is that just sneaking in? I think it'd be very, very cruel if you didn't give Rashford
you'd
that.
be claiming that all day long,
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
And we're hearing the new number 2, Carlos Fernandes, is in charge of set plays, and he's getting a bit of credit on the dugout.
Oh, look, the high fives will be going on in this modern world that we live in. Hey, it's cool. I'm all for it. Everton are really strong. Sean Dyche prides himself on getting first contact in the box. It was savvy, it was clever. Marcus Rashford being on the edge of the box, you kind of probably take your eyes off him a little bit. A good ball from Fernandes, and as you say, Michael, there just looked on getting contact into that area. Impossible for Pickford. Braithwaite, it's an honest mistake, isn't it?
And knowing Sean Dyche like we do, he won't want to see this second goal in a hurry from Everton's point of view, will he?
No, this will hurt. This will, because I think Everton started really well. I think they had some great chances on the counter-attack. United didn't look too sure. Great pressing, though. Amorim will be absolutely over the moon with this, and Zirkzee, it's a big finish for his team to go 2 up.
Yeah, brilliant pressing from Ahmad, isn't it? He really... Look at that. I mean, he sets off early, he gambles, he leaves his man, actually, and then leaves his second man. I think so.
That's
what
that
we're
forward
talking
thinking,
about.
though, Michael.
Yeah.
That's having trust in the person behind you, meaning you can attack the ball, you can press, and you get results like this. He'll be over the moon with that.
Yeah, Ahmad right on the front foot. Brilliant. That's what caused the opportunity. And Fernandes, when he gets in that situation, he never picks the wrong pass, does he? Absolutely brilliant. And yeah, I do think it's flattered them a little bit. I think Everton have been quite good, actually. I mean, they've looked a lot more threatening than I thought they would be. Just the final pass has just not quite been there. But Manchester United, as I said before the game, they're looking only in a small sample, but they're looking much better going forward.
2-0 Manchester United at half-time, 2-0 Chelsea.
Clever play, dropping in from the 9 into the 10, allowing the 2 in front of him to go on, and that's a success that we saw to get those goals.
It is, and I'm sure Sean Dyche will be very frustrated with some of the errors defensively from Everton. They gave away some weak balls and gave United opportunities, but you've got to take them when you get given them, and I think United today were ruthless in those moments. The through balls, the assists, and then the finishes. It was clinical, and it was like that they've been playing together in that kind of style, that kind of formation for a long period of time, which they haven't been, and they haven't been at that level. So it's a real positive sign of what could potentially be to come.
It's interesting you say that, because I've seen the exact same in terms of Zirkzee and Rashford out there today. Only seen them play together a number of times on the pitch. Perhaps they do in training, but they look like they were just on the same wavelength throughout the game today, and Everton defenders couldn't really cope with them.
Yeah, they couldn't. The pressure, the intensity, I think we spoke about it before the game started, about making sure that it's high energy, high running. The physicality has to be there from the players, and that's why we might see quite a bit of rotation, change in players, more substitutions that you might have been used to, but that intensity was there from the very beginning, and Everton just couldn't cope with it. The first 15 minutes, they were there and thereabouts, as I said, a very open game with opportunities for both sides, but once that first 15-20 minutes went, United definitely dominated.
And is this what makes it very interesting and exciting time? Of course, it's Ruben's 3rd game in charge. He's only been here a week, that we can see what he's doing. We're still enjoying watching different players come onto the pitch and playing in different roles. When Luke Shaw came on, for example, there was some talk, would he be out on the wide left? Would he drop into centre-back? Where would then Martinez play? And it's just an interesting concept. He's like he's trying to fit in who can fit in which pockets and where they're best suited to play on the pitch.
Yeah, I mean, it probably gives him a bit of a headache, because there's so many options within formations, within players, within those formations. They've got the versatility to be able to play. Like Luke Shaw, you can play the left wing back, you can play the left-sided centre back. With other players, you can chop and change where they are. It makes it more difficult to work out what your best starting 11 for any match is. But it gives you depth, it gives you options, it gives you the ability to make changes in-game with the players you've got on the pitch. It also gives you ability to make changes by bringing players into the game.
It absolutely does. Well, because I'm sat next to a goalkeeper, it's only right we talk about Andre Onana. His performance, he was brilliant against Ipswich last week. This is Ruben's first clean sheet as Manchester United manager. Probably had less to do today than he did against Ipswich and midweek, but again, still a brilliant performance from him.
Yeah, definitely. And I think as a goalkeeper, yes, you love to make the top hand saves. But when somebody says about you, you've had a quiet game, you haven't really had to do too much, that for me tells you as a goalkeeper, you've played well. You've stopped anything from coming through, you've organised your back line, and you've made sure that everyone knows their job, their role, the responsibility that they have to play to prevent that ball coming through. So although he might not have had the worldy saves that we've been used to seeing, he's definitely been involved in the game and helped to kind of dictate the play in front of him, which is crucial.
And how much will it mean for Ruben bringing in this new system, the 3-4-3? The players are still adapting to it. To pick a clean sheet up in your first Premier League home match, he's got the statistics of him sporting. If you go back to last season, he was unbeaten at home in 22 matches. They scored 72 goals during that time, only conceded 13, which is incredible. Is he going to be looking to make Old Trafford a fortress once again and intense that fear into the opponents when they come here?
I can only imagine the answer to that will be a definite yes. You want to make it a fortress. I think over the last few seasons, teams have come here with a belief that they can come here and get a result. They can come here and spoil the party. You need to make it a fortress, and he started that here today with that first clean sheet, scoring 4 goals, putting in a solid performance, rotating the team, bringing players into it. That's what you need. That's what you want from your home stadium, and it gets the fans on board. The fans were loving it here today, and yeah, some of them still there right now.
Well, let's go back to the point you made about rotating the team, because it's not often that a manager changes his defence or the spine of the team. We saw today 2 of the back 3 came off. Maguire came into it. Luke Shaw then came into it. It's not something you usually chop and change, but he seems confident in the players that he's got. He's got a lot of defensive players of high quality, and he's clearly trusting them to come into a game and to hit the ground running.
It definitely does. I think when you're 4-0 up, it does make it a little bit easier to make those changes, especially defensively. If it's 1-0, 0-0, you probably don't want to make those changes because it's hard to kind of grow into the game. 4-0 gives you a bit of a platform to do it. But you look at the calibre of player he's bringing on. Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire, they're experienced international players that can come in and do a job whenever that's asked of them, and to have them on the bench and back fit to come and kind of stake a claim to be in the starting lineup is really good for the team.
Yeah, it really is true. Well, that's the thoughts from me and Siobhan up here in the studio. We can head down to pitchside where Zara is with Alex.
Thanks very much for that, guys. Obviously, it was a great game here. We're taking a little bit of the atmosphere. There's fans still not left this ground just yet. I mean, it's so promising to see how well we did.
It really is, and for the manager's first Premier League game at home to win 4-0, it's a fantastic result, and I think it just goes to show what we spoke about it at half-time. The first goal in any game of football is normally really important, and United just went from strength to strength. As soon as they got the first, they looked a real threat every time they went forward, and they were well worthy of the 4-0 scoreline at the end of the game.
I mean, we're talking about that attacking threat, and that's kind of been the topic of conversation for today and the previous game as well. But we were talking about it at half-time as well. I mean, Marcus Rashford, we said he was 1 goal away from that target, but he is now the 6th player to score 50 in the Premier League at Old Trafford for Manchester United. A great accolade for him to have. I mean, it's nice seeing him get that confidence back, and the confidence back in all of the players. Yeah,
it's amazing what a goal does. You could see Marcus in the first 30 minutes of the game, he didn't have many touches, he didn't have many involvements. Then when he takes the goal, all of a sudden, chest out, shoulders big, and he grew into the game and he looked a threat. Same can be said for Zirkzee. I thought it was his best Man United performance. He kept getting in them little pockets, brought people into play. A couple of lovely little, as well as his goals, he linked the play and slipped a couple of people through, Ahmad as well. So there were some really good performances that'll please the manager.
There were some great pieces of play that we've seen that looked like it was straight off the training ground, some great exercises that have been doing there. It shows that Ruben Amorim, he said that he was prioritising that time on that training pitch, and you can clearly see that today with some of the movement that we've seen.
For Ruben, obviously coming into the club, any manager going into a football club, it's normally pre-seasons when you get a chance to really stamp your authority on training sessions. So to cram such an amount in a short period of time, hence why we've probably seen them doing tactical work in the warm-up and things like that. He's probably grabbing every opportunity to work with the team, and I'm sure he'd be pleased with the performance today.
I mean, this is a huge opportunity for us to build momentum. That's exactly what Ruben Amorim wanted. He wanted a great start to his Manchester United era that he's starting now. Obviously a win Thursday, a win today, and this is great all leading up to next week.
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously with the games, as I say, keep coming thick and fast, and he's going to get a chance to rotate his team, rotate his squad. There's going to be injuries, there's going to be chances for players coming into the team, but all he can ask for is people to come into the side and grab their opportunity and show what they can do, which is what all the players need to do when a new manager comes in, and the lads who've turned out today can be all happy with their performance.
We did see a new back line, especially in the second half. Yeah. You mentioned it at half-time that he's going to have to rotate to see exactly what he's got in his hands. And what did you make of, obviously, the changes of that back line? And did you see that, obviously, it's great for Ruben to see that he can put any player in those positions? Yeah, well, I said it at half-time. I think if United were going to get an early goal just after half-time, which they turned out to do, the manager would make changes. And obviously, taking Mazraoui and De Ligt off, I think
back round about the 50th minute, 55th minute, whatever it was, to bring on Luke and Harry to replace them. Not too bad replacements, is it? And they came into the game, did really, really well. Sometimes it can be difficult as a defender coming into a game to get up to speed, especially when you've been out injured. But they came onto the field of play and did really, really well.
We've had Lisandro Martinez and Kobbie Mainoo receive yellow cards, meaning that they will not be able to be in contention for the Arsenal game. How important is it to see that squad depth that we spoke about? A huge importance there, and it's going to help Ruben when it comes to Wednesday night think about who he can put in that lineup.
It's going to be huge. Obviously, this stage of the season is when you get those suspensions and little niggly injuries. So to keep the squad healthy as best you can, to get players back fit. So, for example, if Martinez is unavailable, you can bring Luke into the team. Gives you that like-for-like left foot, natural balance to the side. So to have Luke just back available now will be a huge bonus for the manager.
It says a lot as well, the character of the squad that Ruben is trying to build here. I mean, especially when there's a win, we always see, everyone applaud the fans here, but it seemed that they did it together as a collective, and he's trying to bring that mentality about winning together, losing together, and making sure that not only the players feel it, but the coaching staff together feel it as one.
Yeah, I think, listen, for any successful team, you need a togetherness and you need there to be a spirit, and when there is that, you've got half a chance, and I'm sure that's something that him and the staff will want to implement straight away.
We will. We can see some of the players coming out now as well, some of the substitutions that were made here pitch side. I mean, we've currently got Harry Maguire there, Tyrell Malacia. I mean, how great is it to see? You mentioned about how delighted you were to see Harry Maguire back from injury, back into contention. He just fit into that middle role straight away. Yeah, and I think that middle role in a back three suits him. Obviously, he gives you that physical presence. We know what he can do and what he's capable of in both boxes in terms of set pieces, from a defensive and attacking front. So the fact that he's back fit now, I'm hoping that he won't do anything in these runs that they're going to do. It's the worst thing as a player to be doing, running after a game, but it's what you have to do. Yeah, it is indeed. But now let's head up to the studio then. Let's hear from Ben and Siobhan again.
Bueno, al final Rayo ya sabemos que viene de una dinámica negativa, pero ha ido poco a poco a mejor. Creo que han hecho un partidazo y a lo mejor un empate hubiese sido más justo, porque ellos sí que es verdad que han chutado más y a lo mejor han tenido alguna más, pero bueno, yo creo que también por su dinámica de que les ha costado empezar a ganar y tal, no sacan los puntos, pero creo que si siguen trabajando así pueden estar ellos muy tranquilos de que les va a salir las cosas. Sí, yo creo que él era el que más ganas tenía de ganarnos, porque al final somos como los alumnos, y que te gane el alumno es una mierda, pero bueno, lo queremos mucho, lo seguimos respetando como entrenador y más como persona, así que toda la suerte es para él. Bueno, sí, está pasando un mal momento, yo lo sé, el equipo, yo creo que hay gente que es un poco consciente, pero yo sé de primera mano que lo está pasando mal, y creo que es el que más se lo merece, porque es el que lo da todo y eso es lo más importante. No me gustaría cruzarme con Barrio, porque el playoff es un equipo que siempre se me da mal, siempre nos complica la vida y creo que es muy complicado. Bueno, lo que quiero es ir a México, y si además quedó Pichichi ya ese es un regalazo, pero lo importante es lo de hoy, que hemos ganado y nos vamos a México.
Joder, creo que hemos puesto 50 velas para que nos tocara una carta buena. La verdad que nos merecíamos también tener una carta buena, nos merecíamos una alegría. Creo que apostaba poca gente de que entráramos ahora mismo en los playoffs y estamos súper contentas, la verdad. Yo creo que cualquier equipo te puede ganar, son todos muy fuertes, hemos entrado nosotros en el último momento, creo que ahora mismo somos la cenicienta y nos da igual, al final tenemos que competir cualquier partido y nos da igual si gana. Bueno, yo creo que los dos últimos partidos nos han podido un poco la presión, los nervios de tener que ganar para poder entrar, pero bueno, ahora que hemos entrado es a un partido, vamos a tener los mismos nervios que el rival, tener la cabeza un poco calmada, hemos entrado en el último momento, así que venimos ya también un poco con esos nervios y controlarlos.